1 between Jig and the STC. Gonna have some fun.
On Polar Sun.
On Polar Nights, son.
What? I don't know what to say to that.
We've cast so many games, this would be like a rerun.
Which will be fun. Sure. Alright. You want to do rhymes? You want to do rhymes? Let's do it.
Rhymes for days.
Over here, on the top side of the map, we got someone
Who's good at StarCraft and all of that.
who's about to snap. It is the STC. On the bottom side. So what rhymes with snap?
On the bottom side
Or what rhymes with C?
of Polar Nights is a
This
man that's
man.
gonna give us a fright.
And this stings like a bee.
This Blue Surf player ain't wearing no wig. We know him as Seed Jig.
Ooh, he's not part of Seed, man.
Well, maybe he should be.
Yeah, in the future that's possible. Should be a really fun series. TVZ once more, Jig being our Canadian Zerg player. Who's had some success, been making a little bit of noise here and there, and I think it's awesome that these guys made it all the way through the qualifiers, played in Challenger League bracket stage. I had my notebook, but then I brought it backstage because I opened up the day unexpectedly, and now I don't have my notes here, man.
Well, maybe somebody can go grab your notebook and bring me another hat.
I think we're fine without either.
I feel like I need another hat.
I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what SCC brings to the show today, Ben. Because the SCC, as I said before, I think he's a little bit of a wild card. Some days, you know, I'm kind of an SCC fan. It's like, man, I love what he's showing us. He's had a lot of good runs in MLGs back then. But these days, I'm just, you know, when I think of even awesome Korean players that like to participate in North American events, the SCC is not the first player that jumps into my mind anymore. I feel he's kind of representing an older generation of Terran players. Would you agree with that?
He's kind of from the Wings of Liberty era.
I mean, he had some fantastic runs in MLGs. And of course, he's still with Complexity, so he's definitely no pushover. Otherwise, Complexity would be like, hey, the SCC, I think it's time for you to do something else.
He's like a permanent fixture in Jason Lake's house at this point.
Maybe they're planning something special.
Maybe. Perhaps, indeed. Looks like it's going to be a gas opening here for the STC. Getting that early Reaper.
What do you think is the logic behind Jig getting the spawning pool before the hat trick?
Maybe he's afraid of some bunker pressure. I don't know. Maybe he wants to...
Like in the old days, I would say maybe he's worried about 11-11, but actually going hatch first against 11-11 and then spawning pool immediately, he's not even that much worse.
Some people would argue it's even better.
Because you have more lava. Right?
And you get the creep on the low ground, which you don't get when you go pool first. I'm not sure, Kev. I don't really have a good answer for you here. All I can think is that perhaps he's got some kind of plan, some kind of early timing, some devious intentions based around that.
Or he just wants to give us something to talk about.
Yeah.
Maybe Jig is that type.
He's like, hey, I'm going to be the innovator. I'm going to bring back a build from Steps of War.
And now this Reaper is like, whoa, that's
that queen's out fast.
Something's off over here. Do you think the Reaper is worried now? Do you think he's calling home on his walkie-talkie?
I think we're going to see an instant Widow line is what I think. Because of the potential for aggression.
Maybe this is just a 3-queen build instead of a 2-queen.
It's definitely a 3-queen build.
Ooh, this drone's a little
Oh,
bit
this poor drone. This
Spore
poor drone.
crawler.
Oh, turned into a spore crawler. Oh.
Could have. He really wanted to.
He was destined for greatness, Kev.
Command
Here we
Very
go.
quick layer.
Now
5 minutes.
Of the,
Oh man, but the double Reaper opening, this is kind of Paul's opening to some degree. Even though Paul does the same thing every single time. These two Reapers will be able to do a little bit of damage, and also they get a fantastic scout off, and now the SCC is just like, cool. So what you're giving me right now is a free pass to harass you throughout, I want to say the entire game, well that's of course not necessarily true, but for a good solid minute from this point, Ben, ain't that right?
yeah, Reapers are going to be able to see a lot and honestly even do a lot. I'm wondering what Jig's plan is with this fast layer. My knee-jerk reaction is that he's thinking 2-base Muta. Oh man, these Reapers are just being brutal.
At the 5-minute mark? I was more thinking of something
weird Nidus build.
Yeah, when it knighted.
I guess it's possible.
I mean, he just doesn't have the amount of gas to really make a lot of mutas.
He's also not taking any extra extractors. But at this point, like, the STC has seen so much.
Beautiful play here by Jig, moving that 1 queen forward pretty far. So these Reapers, they thought they had safety.
Fire.
Man.
Now, whether or not this was the original plan or he wanted to do something else but feels forced into this, we'll never know.
You know, it's still not all that bad. He's up 7 workers. He might be able to squeeze out a few additional drones. He has plenty of queens, so he can start spreading a little bit of creep as well, which is something that he's definitely going to need. Interesting opening over here.
Reaper's still going to be able to hop up in the main base and continue scouting.
He's really going to need something. Okay, he has a spine crawler. No. Yes. I was like, wait a second, that can't be a starport on creep. Roddy, I know it's Halloween.
The Reaper's got to see everything. This is terrible. Hops down and oh, he's kind of stuck. Reapers. Oh, Hellions are going to sneak past. That's brutal. They will see the Spire. They're going to roast a couple of drones. Great scout here for the STC. That should immediately prompt some kind of reactive turrets or marine production. These Hellions are...
Oh, great movement here with Queen. Man, that's a sick block by Jig.
Is that Hellion like stuck stuff? Yeah. I guess so.
Stuck stuff. Love it. Cool
Very
play here by
nicely
Jig.
done.
Even though that was a nice move by the SSC as well, using that one Reaper to pull the Queens out of position, and then the Hellions went for the run by. If those were 6 Hellions, then things would have been really #dicey. 4 Hellions still slowed Jig down once more. Picked up a couple of drones here and there. Throughout the entire game, 6 drones have died, which, you know, isn't an astonishing number, but considering the fact this is a very low eco game, 6 drones is quite a lot.
Yeah, agreed. First 5 mutas are in production. Jig will be able to go up to 7, 8 mutas, but without a third base and without that 5th and 6th gas, it's going to be hard for him to really blow up that mutalisk number in the way that he's going to want to. And I don't think he's going to be able to do much damage with these initial mutas.
Nope, a couple of mist turrets are going down as well. No overkill, just 3 turrets here and there, making it hard for these mutalisks to be to do anything. And I'm actually very worried, because the moment that the STC had enough of these few mutas and just runs across the map now with his stim rings and a couple of medevacs, I don't think that Jig is ever going to be able to muster out the units that he needs to deal with this.
It's going to be tough, Kev. He's got 47 drones. He's building a roach warren. He's got no baneling nest.
He's got nothing.
He's in a tough spot. He's even stopped producing mutas, which might make his spot that much tougher.
I mean, he's going to need something to deal with these Stim Marines, though. If he would just make mutas, he's just not going to be able to fight it.
Well, he's getting some lings. Doesn't have the speed upgrade, though. Doesn't have any armor or attack upgrades.
No, he threw down a roach warren.
Oh, and this makes it even worse. Single muta falls. A lot of damage taken on another one. And, yeah, #dicey is the right word for it.
32 supply against 39, but that supply of Jig is just not very strong in a straight-up engagement. He's going to need a miracle to keep this hatchery alive. He's going to try, though.
Yep. Lings are going to slowly try to engage, but this is so easy for the STC to micro against. He's just going to dance back and forth. And frankly, I think this is now officially #over.
#a little too dicey for my liking. The hedge will fall, all those queens will fall as well. A couple of drones are going to try to make their way out to the north. I felt Jig just didn't expect that second Reaper, and therefore thought he was able to get away with the build a little bit better than he actually did with those queens. But you know, that second Reaper made it just so easy for the SC to scout. He knew everything about what was going on.
Lings are going to pour out, and this might be enough. Nope, still not.
No, that's 6 medevacs.
Not going to happen, man. And game number 1 is going to go the way of the STC, even though the supplies are still close-ish.
Very convincing game here by the SC. I felt the SC just did what he had to do. Did nothing wrong, scouted. Very thorough throughout the entire game. GG is called. And the SCC takes a quick 1-0 lead over our Canadian Zerg player Jig.
It's just the day of TV.